Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Around the Court, and today we have with us, you can say, the person who is making this league happen. He's one of the leading sports entrepreneurs in the country, and we are very fortunate to have with us for our fourth episode, Mr. Tuhin Mishra, the director and co-founder of Baseline Ventures. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you so much, Volleybiswas, for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Right.
So let's kickstart.
Absolutely. Sir, I've been following Baseline for quite a long time, and you being involved in the sports industry, it has to be a mere fact that you are a great sports fan or you're passionate about sports. Or how did this love for sports come about?
The love for the sport for me kind of came very naturally because thanks to my father who used to work for the Tatas at Jamshedpur. So we were fortunate enough to get exposed to a lot of different sports. You name it, whether it was cricket, football, tennis, table tennis, squash, swimming, billiards, snooker.
You've done it all.
Yeah, we've done it all. For me, it was something that I always felt that if ever I get a chance to move to that industry, yes, I would love to be in that or be part of that.
Okay, sir. Now my next question would be, how did Baseline start? What was the purpose behind starting Baseline?
So Baseline started in 2014.
Right.
Towards the end of 2014. So me along with few of my fellow co-founders, there are 5 of us, which is Vipin Nair, Ramakrishnan, Vishal Jason and Raman Grover. At some point in time we wanted to do something on our own.
Right.
And that's when one fine day we all decided that we will quit our jobs and start a firm which is going to be doing a lot of things which is little out of the box. We wanted to do something which was a little different, probably help leave some legacy at the end of the day, and work on other sports, because for India to be known as truly a sporting nation, it can't be just a 1 or 2 sport country. And that's what our endeavor has been and has been till now, I would say.
And I'm sure that you're doing a great job, because we are seeing like the stars of Baseline, excelling at the biggest of stages, sporting stages. PVL in its first year, it's excelling. The viewership, the numbers, everything is great. How fulfilling it is to see that PVL is excelling, because it's a sport that is not followed that much, as you were saying, in India, like in terms of viewership, and it's getting the numbers, getting the due recognition. How does it feel to see it excel?
So I will just correct here. Volleyball in the last Olympics, which happened at Tokyo, in spite of India not having a team at the Tokyo Olympics, we still had 34 million people from India watching the sport of volleyball on TV, on Sony.
Okay.
So which means that Indian people, they would love to watch volleyball, or they love watching volleyball, a quality kind of a volleyball which is getting played. Now coming back to our own league per se, so when we were conceptualizing this whole league, obviously we knew that there is a market. It's just that we need to offer that to people to watch it. And the success of Prime Volleyball League for us is really fulfilling, to the extent that when we see players, they come forward and they say, and they thank us that we have managed to create a platform for them which they were missing for years. I mean, there are so many sad stories, there are so many really heart-wrenching stories of players when you come across, and they say that this is what they've been all waiting for.
Right.
And they are thankful not only to Baseline but to each and every owner, each and every team which has really come forward and they've joined hands with us. And I would say the success does not belong to one person here, it belongs to all the teams, everyone who's been part of this. So whether it is Calcutta, whether it's Calicut Heroes, or whether it is Bangalore Torpedoes, or Hyderabad Blackhawks, or Kochi Blue Spikers, so all the 7 teams which are there, I would say they are equally responsible, including the Ahmedabad Defenders.
Right. Sir, but PVL is doing the numbers, people are watching, it's great for the players, but it had its own share of challenges, obstacles, hurdles. If you can guide us through them, how did you make this happen? Because there's a huge story behind it.
Yes. So yeah,
became the league that it is today.
Yeah. So let me take few steps back.
Right.
So in 2018, when we were thinking about doing this league, So we had got into a partnership, an arrangement with that time, which was an existing federation. We had got a 10-year rights, and we had done for the first time in 2019 a professional league called Pro Volleyball League, and it was a success. We had got decent numbers. It had actually become the talk of the town. It's just that there were few people within the whole system who had probably some other plans, and they illegally terminated our contract. And that was the most heartbreaking thing for us, for players, for everyone, the entire ecosystem of volleyball, that after a long time something nice was being done, and as usual there were few people, for their own vested interest, they tried to stop it. But what it actually showed to us is that, one, we should not let some unscrupulous people try to destroy the beautiful sport of volleyball. Secondly, we also need to stand for our rights. And what we did was, when our agreement was terminated, we actually took them to the court. We fought a case which lasted for almost a little more than a year, and thankfully, since we were always on the right side, we won the case. The erstwhile federation has been ordered by the Honorable Chennai High Court to pay certain damages, which is all in public domain. But that was just one part. That for us, that fight was not about just money. It was the fight for the rights, the right way of doing business. And we as a company, we always believe in doing ethical work, and we fought for the rights. Once that was kind of done and dusted with, we wanted to just focus and channelize our energies towards the more positive outcome of that. And the positive outcome of that was, how do we again bring this back to life? It was not easy. The people there, again, the guys who were in the federation, they were trying every possible way to stop us from doing it. They were threatening the players. But what we are very thankful is to each and every player, that they all came forward, because they know and they realized that what we were doing was a very noble cause. We were doing it for volleyball. It is not for just this bunch of players, but for the next future generations as well. And I don't want to name the players, but the top Indian players who all came and said that, sir, we are with you. We want to make this happen, because it's going to affect not only us, but the other guys who are aspiring to become the top volleyball players of this country. And that was the strength that we got. And I'm not only saying about myself, but all the bunch of guys who were involved with us, with this whole league, whether it was Joy as the CEO for the league, the team owners, and a bunch of other guys who all joined hands. Then we had Sony who came on board. So we can't thank our broadcaster, the host broadcaster, Sony Networks. So they've come in, and for the first time for any other sport outside of cricket, that a sport is being shown in so many languages on the Sony platform. And then the bunch of sponsors. Again, first time, I can clearly say this is the very first time for any league in this country outside of cricket to have so many of the top sponsors on board who've come forward, believed in our vision, and who are trying to, obviously any league that you're doing, you need sponsors to make this whole league sustainable. And they also understood the value, or they understand the value what volleyball is actually bringing on television, and hopefully down the line on ground as well.
So we'll come to the ending stages of the conversation. I'm loving this conversation that I'm having with you. So we as Kolkata Thunderbolts, we're a new team from a city that is, I would say, like do not have like that much domination as the south of India in a sport like volleyball. When you saw the proposal of Kolkata being one of the cities interested in being a part of this league, how was it for you, and where did you see it going? Because this may give rise to a lot of other cities. The cities may not be relevant for volleyball, but they can come in, and as a result the sport of volleyball might grow. So how was it when Kolkata proposed to you?
So I would say the one thing which really went in Kolkata's favor was, it's a sport loving city or a sport loving state, right, per se. People are very knowledgeable. Right. So whether it is football or cricket or any other sport, even I would say carom, absolutely, you will see people actually being completely involved. And that's the, how do I say, the beauty about Bengalis, right? They are so passionate. They really get into it. So when I use the word passion, there has to be a word or a synonym with Mr. Pawan. So when we met him and Mr. Vineet, together for the first time, and we were discussing this across the table. One thing which really stood out when we were chatting with Pawan was his whole passion. He wanted to make a difference, or he wants to make a difference. And he said that once we come on board, we will do ABC things. And trust me, he said only ABC or D. But what we realized is he's actually done E, F, G, H, God knows to Z, right? So he's far exceeded our expectation in terms of what they have done for the team. So if you look at the matches which are going, he does not shy away from going to the other team stand, wears their jersey, tries to support them. Sometimes that team wins, sometimes the team loses. But then he's always happy, he's dancing, so he's become, I would say, an interesting character for all of us. And that's what a league requires. And we are very thankful for that. And at the end of the day, the winner is volleyball. And we are so happy because of Kolkata Thunderbolts. It's not only the West Bengal region, but probably the entire Northeast, which is getting captured. And though everyone is like coming forward to supporting them. And again, as a team, as Kolkata Thunderbolts, they are trying to do so many things in the Northeast. They've tied up with the Brahmaputra Volley League. They're trying to do other things on ground. They are trying to support the poor players on board. And they've onboarded some of them as well. So these are beautiful stories, because the impact of such activities is not this month or this year. It will have long-term implications, and this is what we want to do. We are creating the platform for the players who are financially deprived as well, a lot of them. And so we want to create a model which becomes sustainable and for them something to look forward to.
And sir, if I have to tell you to, describe Mr. Pawan Patodia in 3 words, looking at him wearing different jerseys, doing that what he does best, what would those 3 words be? And I'm sure that he's looking at you, sir, when he's watching the video.
See, one is 3 words. If I have to describe him as, or would be, he's passionate. You cannot doubt even 1% of his passion. Right? It is not fake. It is genuine. That's the beauty. The second word which I would say is that he's mad, but mad in a good sense. And third is that he has a heart of gold. That he's a man who has certain principles. He believes in certain things and he stands by it. And that is what is really appreciative as probably one of the league organizers and a league co-creators as well for us.
So thank you so much for the words for our owner, Mr. Pawan Patodia. Before we end, I do want to know this from you. So Prime Volleyball League in its first year, where do you see this league maybe 3 years, 5 years down the line? What can the audience expect? What can the players expect? And where do you see this league in its...
So the kind of traction that we've got till now, we are in the last phase of our league, and just few matches left now. But the kind of traction that we've got, the kind of feedback that we've got from across the country and across the globe as well, because a lot of people from outside India who are also following our league, is that this is a rocking event. It's a rocking league. And I can say with all humility that we see that this league has the full potential to be the number 2 league in this country after IPL. So we just have to get few more things in place, and we strongly feel with the support that we are getting, or the support that we have, that it's just a matter of time where we can proudly say that it is the number 2 league in this country. I am sure it's a matter of time. So touch wood.
And so before we end, this has to come like from the personal Tuhin Mishra and not the league maker Tuhin Mishra, to the ones who are passionate about sports, who want to make a career in the sports industry. What would your message be to them?
My 2 bits will only be that if you're passionate, then follow your dreams. Don't shy away from failures, because there will be failures as well on the way. And at the end of the day, there's always, as they say, there's light at the end of the tunnel. So you have to live for that. But trust me, when you live your passion and you try to follow that journey and follow the right journey, sometimes that right path, you will face a lot of obstacles as well. But once you are able to cross that, the feeling that you get is phenomenal. And I think through this volleyball league, thanks to everyone and thanks to, I would say, Almighty as well, we are in the process of making a difference. Right. It is just the start. We still have a way to go. But if we keep on doing the right things, I think things will keep on falling in place.
Your last message to the people of Kolkata, for our audience from Kolkata, so our tagline is Banglar ball bodle geche, which basically means that the Bengal's ball is changing, because we are a sports loving city, sports loving state. We have shown immense love for all the ball sports, but here's a sport that has come, and here's a team that has come to change the ball. So what would your message be for the people of Kolkata, the fans of Kolkata Thunderbolts?
I would only say that just keep on supporting your team, Kolkata Thunderbolts. They've started this league with a bang. They have an amazing team, probably one of the most dangerous teams. I speak to obviously all the team owners and the players as well, and all of them say that this is a really serious, I would say, contender for the title. Whether that happens or not, we'll get to know now in the semi-finals and obviously the finals. They had got certain things right. They had a very good support staff in place. What they have been doing on social media, what they were doing on other aspects of marketing has been amazing. A lot of other teams have complemented that as well. So my only request to all the people of Kolkata and elsewhere in West Bengal and Northeast as well is that just back your team. You have a winner in your hands.
Thank you so much, sir, for the words. To end this conversation, sir, the people of Kolkata are going to love it if you say something in Bengali with us, if you're up for that.
See, I am up for that. But I can probably say a few words. Ami tumake bhalobashi.
So people are going to love it, and people of Kolkata want to say that tomake bhalobashe Kolkata.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.